What's up, man? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment back again with another one. I stay hustling. I stay grinding. Stay on the gristle, man. Stay on the gristle. Be sure to hit that like button. Sub to the channel if you're not a member, and get the notifications up. Hit that bell so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos and all of my content. Um, Now, I'm pretty sure by now y'all have already known what took place uh, in the game yesterday that featured Lamelo Ball playing Lamelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets against the Grizzlies, in which the Grizzlies won 125 to 118. Uh, and in the game, there was, Lamelo Ball. He was having an off shooting night for the majority of the game. Uh, wasn't really shooting particularly well, but he came on pretty strong during the end and was trying to rally his team and trying to push his team to a victory, get his team sparked up for the most part, which is as a point guard what you're supposed to do. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But there was a there was a period towards the end of the fourth quarter with roughly 2:55 left to go, in which uh, Boat Knight and several others, because Boat Knight was the first one to get in between him and the officials, and he tried to, pretty much restrain LaMelo from going off on the referees because he was frustrated about, the no call, and that's when, uh, the teammates had got pushed by LaMelo, and he, pushed a couple of them out of anger and out of frustration. What's up with it, Stephen Brown? I see you in the building. Now, there has already been a lot of a lot of turmoil, if you will, in terms of what's going on with the coaching and the rotations and stuff like that in Charlotte already, no doubt. And then there's also, uh, I'm not gonna put my hands on it, and I don't like to speculate this sort of thing. But also, people are also, a little jealous of Lamelo because now that he's pretty much got the keys uh, to the organization, and now he's got the All Star. He's an All Star now, and he's gonna be emerging into the superstar one day. Now, there tends to be, a lot of people, they look at that, and they get jealous. You know what I'm saying? Jealousy is a real thing in all aspects of life. But besides that, man, I'm not gonna stray away from the subject. This is what I feel. I felt that, you know, a mentality like LaMelo in this generation is hard to find, especially this generation, this crop of ball players that you find now, especially when you talk about LaMelo Ball, especially when you talk about John Morant. It's hard to find guys like that that have a ferocious type of mentality that want to win. Now, sometimes, man, when your adrenaline is real high, sky high, to the point where you know you you're not even thinking, and you kind of tend to black out. Sometimes you do things that you don't necessarily mean. Um, Look, he's human just like anybody else. Okay. Now, should he have done that? A lot of people will say no, but there's been times in situations where teammates have butted heads and gotten into it and stuff like that, and they willingly got into it. With actually knowing what they're doing, not because of the adrenaline pumping. You don't know what's going on and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? This right here, I think his adrenaline was pumping, and he was frustrated at the fact that they're losing, and on top of that, I know he wants to win. He's got that mindset to where he's a leader, and that's what I talked about, just a few seconds ago. He has an old school point guard mindset that, okay, you could keep it cool and everything, but let's not get things twisted here. We still want to win, and I'm still just as competitive as a 7 foot big guy, who tends to be dominant and imposing. So the fact that Lamelo did that, it might have not been a good look, but boat night was about to fight, have a scuffle with the coach. So that's what I'm saying. It's turmoil going all over, and this is not the first time where they've had turmoil. Remember, Graham had was feeling salty. Devontae Graham, who plays for the New Orleans Pelicans now, he was feeling salty about the way things are going. It was rumored that Terry Rozier wasn't happy about some things, and you know, I mean, in every team setting, in every team structure, it's not always going to be everything's not always going to be fine and dandy. I mean, that's just what it is. You can't sit there and expect for everything to run perfect all the time. Uh, Lamelo wants to win bad. He wants to win. Um, he doesn't want to lose. He wants to really turn things around in Charlotte, and rightfully so. You're supposed to feel that fire, that competitive fire in you. This is another thing too. A lot of people don't realize this either. Lamelo, out of the three Ball brothers, is more like his dad more than anything. You know, because his dad doesn't seem scared, not shying away for anything. Yeah, he says a lot and does a lot or whatever, but he grew up in Compton, and came up in a rough type of neighborhood or whatever, concrete jungle, so to speak. And so, and of course, they grew up in Chino Hills, suburban, and everything. But he still got the mellow ball. I think people are sadly mistaken that while you look at him and you think that he got the curly hair and he light skin and he uh, you know is young and all this other stuff. He still got that dog in him. He still got that fight in him. But I believe that this situation is going to work itself out. Everything that this right here is not even really that big of a deal. It okay, we don't want it to get out of the hand. We don't want it to get out of hand. But at the same token, there's lots of other stuff that happens behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about and that they're not talking about and that they haven't said to the public that really really doesn't surprise me. Um, do I think that Lamelo Ball uh, is, people are gonna be feeling some type of way after this? Nah, not at all. Because some teammates, they they go through some sort of confrontation in order to turn it into a greater situation, if that makes any sense. Uh, some teammates, they gotta have that that argument, or that bumping of the head, so to speak, or that war, in order for them to make, to feel better. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's not gonna be all kumbaya about a situation, especially when it comes to the game of basketball and football, and any type of sport. You're talking about testosterone driven testosterone driven individuals who, play a sport in which the competitive nature is so unreal that you wouldn't even expect it. These guys compete on and off the floor all the time, pretty much the vast majority of it. So what I'm saying is that, sometimes it's not going to be, when you go to that guy and he's frustrated because he didn't get that call, you can't expect that guy to just be all nice about it, or and all this other stuff, man. No, he wants to win. He wants to win. Man, you 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 coming into our house, Memphis coming into our house, and they doing us like that. That's probably the mentality that he had. So I don't sit there and I don't um I don't sit here and judge Lamelo Ball for what he did, because stuff like this happens all the time. And as a matter of fact, it could have been worse. Um, it goes back to the AD and Dwight Howard situation. I mean, stuff like this takes place. It happens. It happens, man. But I I'm gonna say this. I am a little concerned about the chemistry being detached just a little bit. Because there were rumors that, some of these guys, have not been getting along, and of course, the whole the whole issue with boat night and Coach Borrego, getting into it. Um, and I don't think, honestly, I think it's more of a buying in problem. I don't think that some of these guys particularly agree with what he's doing coaching wise. I could be wrong, but it needs to be addressed immediately. Charlotte's got a lot of potential. They have a lot of potential to really do some things. I projected them to be higher than what they are. I projected them to be really really higher than what they are right now. And right now I think they're ninth. Yeah, they're ninth, and they're at 500. You know, so and the Nets, if they keep on losing, because they've lost 11 straight, then they'll be in that eighth spot, and then the next person that they or the next team that they got to catch is, of course, the Celtics. and then their whole goal is because right now the Raptors are in six. Once they once they get the Raptors, then okay, they'll they'll be straight, you know. But well, really the Bucks. I should say the Bucks because you want to get that's the area where you really want to be at. But because to me, you know, play in or no play in, nobody's safe. Because if you get into a you know a situation where you make the play in, then one team might have more pressure than the other. So that's what I'm looking at it like. But Charlotte, I thought Charlotte was gonna be at the top. Of course, you know, they got additions there that are new. You know, especially most notably uh, Montrezl Harrell. So we'll have to see what takes place. I'm hoping that they, you know, smooth everything out. I'm hoping that, you know, these guys, you know, they put water under the bridge, like really what you're supposed to, because when you playing in the NBA or you playing sports or something like that, and you're playing a lot of games, you got to have a short term memory. You got to have a short term memory because it's pretty much on to the next one. I was thinking about what Russell Westbrook, you know, with all the stuff that he's going through and everything, he had answered his questions. He did what he needed to do, and then that's what he said. He said, "On to the next one," and that's pretty much the mentality. But it's also a mental battle. It's a mental hurdle. It's a mental struggle for some, you know. But for Lamelo Ball, I don't see this as too big of a deal, you know. And sometimes, man, you need this spark. I'm not saying that you know this is the first option. This is the first goal. Oh, I'm sorry, not first goal. This is the first thing that you should do, which is to you know push your teammates or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but sometimes a spark can happen because of a you know teammates getting into it or you know a situation might have taken place or whatever. You know you know it happens. It may happen to some of the teams that are winning right now, like a Phoenix or like a Golden State. You know, I mean, even you know when Chicago was winning back in the day, they always referred to Chicago because you know Chicago and the Bulls back in the days they were looked at as you know one of the great teams to do it. I mean, shoot, if you really want to go, let's talk about the Lakers back in the day, not the Lakers now. I'm talking about Lakers, you know, Kobe Shaq era. Even with Magic in them, you know, hey, they had turmoil, they had inside problems, they had um, stuff that they had to iron out. And that's the thing that I was talking about with, you know, like the Joel Embiid situation and James Harden. Um, shout out to the brother TJ Sports Tape. Now, you know, that's what I was telling TJ, right? I was telling him basically that, you know, a team can be great and full of talent and everything, but how are you gonna mesh personality wise? How are y'all gonna get together? How are y'all gonna come together and be cohesive? And if y'all not on one accord and y'all not unified, y'all not winning shit. And even if you do win, you're not gonna get the you know the wins, the quality wins that you need, or even you know the whole goal pretty much is you know getting a championship. That's what the end goal is, and you got to have that good chemistry. Some guys push each other, some guys fight, some guys get into it, some guys you know curse each other out, talk about each other, all this other stuff, and then Next thing you know, they'll be up in there sitting up there on the game on the PlayStation, you know, pretending like nothing ever happened, or they you know, go out and go party like nothing ever took place. It happens within the team. Guys are not gonna like each other all the time. Guys are not gonna, you're around these guys 80, 80, 82 plus games a year. Year in and year out, you're around the same person. That becomes nerve wracking. Everybody's nerves. You might get tired of a person's voice, or you get tired of hearing the coach's voice. You get tired of seeing that guy. He might do a little annoying shit sometimes. On the bus or something, or on the plane or something like that. Them guys might have did a prank to you that gets on your motherfucking nerves, and then you like, man, look, you get this shit happens. It's like being in a situation with your brother in the household, and Lamelo is used to that. I mean, he's got two older brothers that were always picking on him and always doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And now, he's he pretty much is the last one standing. I mean, to be successful, he's had the most success out of all of them. Just in my opinion, he's had the most success in terms of individual wise. But nah, Lamelo, he has nothing to be ashamed about. I'm I'm more happy that he's a leader more than anything. He's continuing to lead. He's continuing to uh, just do what is necessary. He's a young player. He's a young player, and he's this is a learning experience. This is a learning experience, and he's gonna learn from it. He's gonna learn from it, man. Just like all the other guys, they gotta learn from their mistakes. You see, boat night is still. If it was that bad enough, boat night probably would have been gone. But he's still there. And for those of y'all that don't know, boat night had got into it with the coach over there. He got into it. They was about to, you know, he wanted to scuffle. But also, this is another thing too. Sometimes this atmosphere is really great. I often think about the Bad Boy Pistons, and in the documentary, Bill Lambier he told everybody. He said if you had disagreements, they would have fights. In the locker room. As I said before, if that's what it comes to, that's what it comes to. And really, I mean, some people are gonna sit there, they're gonna judge, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, he whooped your ass. He did this to this. He did this to you, or he did that to you, or something like that." They might clown and all this other stuff, but really, it really ain't no winner. It really ain't no winner. It's just about getting whatever's off of your mind and off of your chest, and off of how you feel in terms of your spirit. You let it out in some form of fashion. So I don't see this thing dragging out too much. Hopefully, they settle their differences or whatnot, and they move forward. I hope that it doesn't keep them from getting in a position of where they need to go, because Charlotte was definitely on the come up, man. Last year I thought that these guys, I thought that these guys were really going to shock the whole entire league, and they were doing that. They were doing that for a little bit up until he got hurt. So, y'all, let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments, like the video, and also share it, subscribe, and hit them notifications. Till then, man, Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I'll get at you later.